Chaffee is unique in the fact that it's the only installation in the continental United States with training areas located on both sides of a commercially navigable waterway in the Arkansas River. Specifically, being as a commercial navigable waterway, you're going to have a current and flow in the Arkansas River that's going to be extraordinary and outside of the normal training experience that most units get practicing these operations on a lake. The river's going to flow naturally. There is some control from the lock and dam immediately to the west of the site, but by and large, units are going to have to plan for and execute your operation on a river that's actually flowing and is deep enough to support large traffic down the Arkansas River. So that's very unique. They're going to find we've done a lot of improvements to our ramps that enter and exit both the near and far side of the river. So they're going to find a good, supportive training environment. They're going to find a challenging training environment.
I was really surprised at how large the Arkansas River actually is. So that's a huge asset to this company being local, is we can just come out here, every VA if we wanted to make sure that we could get out on the river, and it is actual large enough body of water that we don't have to worry about it being a still lake that doesn't, the water level is too low to do any bridging operations. So with the Arkansas River, usually we don't have to worry about that.
As far as our MOS goes, it's a very small one. It's very limited by the fact that there's not very many places in the whole country where you can do this kind of training. We have access to a major river, the Arkansas River right here, where we can train the way that we would actually have to fight. Most other places, they're limited to some kind of lake that doesn't have any kind of current. It doesn't properly simulate the real world environment.
We're used to doing 18 down in Fort Hood or now Fort Cavazos. The weather is very different, so I like how when we come down here we don't have to worry too much about the heat. But also it's very close to base and hospital-wise as well. So if there is any injuries at all, I have very easy access to ambulance points and to hospitals and other more extensive medical personnel.
64,580 acres of training land. This is one of those places where you can also practice the multiple stages of the bridging operation. So you can have that call forward area, you can have that rear staging area, you can work your traffic control points. There's a lot of things that you can do that lead not only from the river crossing site, but back onto the installation and further into the downrange training area that allow them to really practice all those key portions of a wet gap crossing that they would have to plan for and execute in a real scenario.
The water level is always, pretty good, and we have several slips that we can operate from. So that's the best thing about being at this unit, is that we can always do what we do instead of having to worry about being at a unit that doesn't have a large enough body of water close and having to commute.